EU. We'll go for inside EU, we'll explain what matters them for day, we'll talk for day, and after a while, you get some the parliamentarians, they will be called, they sit we down, and they say the one for talk would be off record, off book. And we will listen well, and they tell we say, look, if we like, we demonstrate for UN offices, demonstrate on the streets of Europe and America, demonstrate everywhere. Do what we do, write petitions, write memoranda, do all of those things, give them for people. People, they go feel we just at that moment or with the or time where they read some of those things. And that some of them, they take some of those things, they don't even read them, they just put them under a drawer and he end for day. Or the secretary read them, he end for play with the secretary read them. Because plenty other things and the way they happen for other sides of the world where people, they put their interest there. Until when people, they don't get enough, they go on the street, they demonstrate, they show the world, say, so this is what is happening, and they are demonstrating. You know that they talk so with the conviction of their own background, this European backgrounds, because when they know, say, demonstration are a right to people them, for people them for do them, when once it be peaceful, a right for all man. So you think, say, for Africa, maybe not the same, say, be easy for Ambazonians for just get up one morning and they start march for street, for demonstrate on their rights. They don't know, so once you do that thing, Frenchman don't know anything about democracy, they don't know anything about marching for street. They send gendarmes, they kill, they rape, they gun you down, tear gas you, they arrest you, they lock you, they do whatever they do for you, they not be answerable to any person. So they tell we say, this thing will get for most, make sure say it happen for back home before the international organizations, they will take it serious. So once the world, back home, it be silent, the way it be silent, we'd like to demonstrate for year, will not go ever, nothing not go ever happen. And so when man is down hungry, he get for take to the street. And if it be difficult, he use any means where make sure, say, for it free itself. And he don't see what situation, he don't read the situation. Not to know the way we don't tell you for year, where be new. All of them know the Ambazonian history, the Cameroon story. But EU or United Nations not just woke up, walk inside Cameroon, then start talk say you go this way and you go this way. Except we don't stand up. They tell we say there is no free freedom. Freedom is not cheap. So when I get to fight for freedom, it's even the country where they represent them, it be fight for a freedom. So why not we? I should also, in fact, for that chair where they be talk for we, so I be feel stupefied. Because now the thing where I be known, but I be run away from. I say no, diplomacy will work. Let us just try it. One more push. One more. I follow this paradigm now. That's what we believed. Just one more push. Just one more push. But time way is stupefy me inside that place. I be go out of that place baptized. As we get out, the first person I call it been a Dr. Mfo Ngalamfo. I tell you saying that the thing that we don't happen inside EU, and we get for change that motto for SCNC from force of argument, not the argument of force, to something else. He said, no, diplomacy is winning. We are at this, we are this, I just dropped him. As soon as I dropped him, the next person I called was Dr. Cho Ayaba. When I called him, he said, boy, I've been waiting for this day. You're coming back home. I've been telling you that you have been wasting a lot of energy with those people. Come back home. And I tell you which way they don't discuss with we inside the EU. He say no be strange because they don't tell you almost something. Then I tell you, say, look, I be read the Arab Spring, how will they be come together for make sure say they get people them on the street and make sure say that people they understand which way to go on and all of those things, and they be use a powerful platform where we've been at the social media, and I be tell Dr. Cho Ayaba say please let us open a group on our Facebook, and then we start doing things and making our people to be aware of the plight, and then we prepare for the final defense for homeland. And he said, that is a good one. That is how we started. That was the birth of what we call AGOVC ADF today. I created the first group, and then we were working, and Dr. Cho Ayaba brought in powerful people that I've never heard. The likes of Comrade Roland Teure, the likes of the Iron Lady. In fact, a lady that when she addresses these issues, you will think that she is the next person to throw an explosive somewhere. She is it be very, very capable, for do which way you know go ever think of a lady. So when all of them come in, they call your name Comrade Florence. When all of them come in, we get people them from all walks of life, the civil society, we get people them from the SDF, we get people them from the various groups them with irredentist movements that they be there for Ambazonia at that time where they be the fight for make sure they will be free. We just select people them from those groups and we add them inside. You get people them where they just been a social media activist, where they not be just get nothing. Like you get barrister Ashu Shami, yeah. You get even the likes of Don Wanobi. All of them will bring all of them together. We'll put our heads together and we'll make sure, say, we work for CC. We'll get a platform where it will be the foundation of a very big structure where it will defend our territorial integrity. Where it will make sure, say, it show La Republique, say, boys, they don't big now, they be now men. We go show La Republique, say, it is so we don't reach a time where we don't get in canas, where it don't start function. We go show La Republique, say, we not still be na that small woman then where they work at the rape them anytime. We don't be a woman then now way if they come anytime with the kick with the box. So it be now there's reason why we form that group and we be careful make it strong. Reason why we be careful make it be strong now because you will not want to form a group will be abstract, will be away from the people, or where it undermine the other groups and way they be done the function inside Ambazonia. Now what I will be make sure to select groups from people from all over the other groups them for make sure so they come together with the people of the civil society and people that they not just get nothing but they get the anxiety for CC will be free. We'll bring all of them together and then we'll be start which way today you hear it be the Ambazonian Governing Council. The Ambazonian Governing Council. It shows that a council is not a government of Ambazonia. We do not impose ourselves into Ambazonians as a government. We'll be first formed, it will be the Southern Cameroons Patriotic Alliance, the Southern Cameroons Ambazonian Patriotic Alliance, CAPA. That was, now the thing will be first formed, and before we start to think about, a name will be more representative, where it show, it get a geolocation for which we will fight for. So we all be adopt the name Ambazonia. And now what I will be put the name now, the AGovC, the Ambazonian Governing Council. So at one point we say, okay, the structure now it don't strong. We're getting up of start look now how to impact something now we go be in the name of defense. All this will be done between I think 2012 and 2013. 2012 to 2013 to 2014 we'll brush all of these things in. And we'll be at that time. Look, I want to make sure say make una understand. Say the AGovC, been an opportunist group. Be an opportunist group. Get some big bang theory where it start before AGovC it appear for the force itself into anything. There was no big bang. Now just a group of people the way they get a pain, particular pain in them, where they don't see the nature of the state of living. They don't see the social, moral decadent way we be getting inside our society, where we need a change. We don't see say we've been as slaves, and in fact, we don't see worse than what we some people they see them now. We'll come together now for form this group, where it lead this struggle today. So it won't be we'll think about how to do with defense and we will come out with the name the Ambazonia Defense Forces. You know, we use all the name Ambazonia for everything, for make sure, say we get that territory, you know, it be well defined. You know, just get some name where they joke up. Might use example for names the way that they exist. We think of all of those things like we warriors. You know, if some person sits somewhere, he listen to that thing, it's like now a name for some terrorist group where they exist somewhere, or some court, or some tribal group where they fight. You know, you hear what's the other one? Red dragons. You know, they don't represent that territorial integrity. They don't represent that geographical landscape where we fight for. But once you articulate the Ambazonia Defense Forces, it is something. It is a state. You know, it is the army of the state. So now the thing that we get them for we mind for and we think dragons all of this. Nah, nobody even knows some people in their way they already work hard. They build the ground, the struggle for make sure, say we get structures for all over the 13 counties in Ambazonia, the 13 states in Ambazonia. We've already make all of those structures, putting everything in place, you know, for this to happen. This was between 2012 to about 2014. And within this time, they don't send me the Ambazonian Governing Council at that time now. You don't send me for training, you don't do things, and then you send me to for go down to GZ for do feasibility studies, open all of those camps, you know, and then look for materials. You know, we go, we find materials, and we do things. 2012 to 2014. Inside, we get an election on who get to be the leader, the CIC, the commander-in-chief of the Ambazonian Governing Council. For this election, for cut things short, you get Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, where he be get for run like the CIC. But Anami I be chair that election, and I be tell them, I talk say I don't want any election or by acclamation. Two people them must stand for the most important positions. Make sure say we vote one person. I know one that we just say, yeah, chairman, you have won, or this and that, you have won. I say we need two contests for that position. And the first election will be postponed, and because now only one person he be opt say he want run for that post, and that person will be a chairman Ebenezer Akwanga. So it will be the next session. We come again, we open the floor because we've been a self-nomination. You nominate yourself on whatever area where you think say you will help the people of Ambazonia with. So we see it be around 5 minutes. No man again never nominate itself for run with the chairman. So at one point, Dr. Cho Ayabatu just say, okay, since nobody is running, let me stand with the chairman. And the house will be accept. So I be say, okay, the election get to go ahead and I conduct the election. And we be talk say, I be tell them say, any man where he want for run as the chairman or the commander-in-chief of the AGOF-C, the person he get for talk for we, tell we which way therefore he hate, which I get for take we go, and how he want do that. So I will give them time again for, you know, for think and for do for come out with a speech on how they want take we go ahead. So the meeting it will be postponed to the following day so that they take their time for think, because this thing not be a rush thing. A revolution not be a walk in the park like Dr. Cho by the West talk. So we'll not be get for rush. So we come now, I open the floor, salute everybody, and I talk say, okay, now time now we the two people that were in the contest for the post of the CIC, they get for talk. And CIC, if he talks say make a chairman go first, and the chairman Ebenezer Akwanga, he talks say no, may ESG go first, because at that time the CIC been at the SG of the Southern Cameroon's Youth League, where now Dr. Akwanga Ebenezer he be the chair. So say me CIC go first. So CIC go first. It tell we how we in need, how we want for take we to from step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. And if it give we an approach we need for take and we call them a triad approach, a targeted diplomacy, resistance, internationalization, and defense. Saying that the approach that way it go use them, and if it divide the approach to these phases. So he talks in that the thing where it just prepare them, so he go give them when they elect this the person they elect them like CIC. But now when Nayi and chairman the run, chairman will come with his own any person where he win for the CIC, then they combine them and then they work together for make sure that they come out with a very fine piece where it go lead with to the nearest future. And CIC we talk say if the votee from that 2013 or 2014 like that now, it could take this will go begin the defense for homeland for 2018. So within that time, it is stockpile, it is train, it is gather guys them, and then 2018 will come out in a very where it go surprise everybody. Where the one who come for morning time, we don't surround places them and we do what we do. So fortunately or unfortunately, the CIC it will win the election and it become the CIC of the Ambazonian Governing Council. So within that time, they send me at the go ground zero, me and chairman Benedict Kwa would go ground zero, to and fro, they look materials, they look places for training, they do things. At one point, me and Dr. Cho Ayaba, we said would go down, look for materials, look places for training and all of those things. Iwaka inspect all of those places. Dr. Cho Ayaba no be a person where, because he be a leader, he go sit down and tell you, say, you begin go, or go there. Ye go to yourself. Me and you don't go down for ground zero many a times. Me and the chairman for the Defense Council, we don't go down to ground zero many a times. Not be this people on around your vote and say president them. They should down for America. They wear change code, take una money, buy their house, do their things and what they do. When I should down for they're not take risks. They're not take risks. If you want it for anything like this revolution as such as us, you will begin by forming a government. Then you don't have been a very stupid man. That's your brain they don't start shake. Your brain they don't start shake. Even independent countries they get government, not just because they don't get no other thing where they fit do apart from government. Not because the government are the best thing. Government not the worst thing for get them in a chaotic society. Now, so we start all of those things and then we formed the ADF and everything was strong and we're working. Then come the teachers and lawyers strike for 2016, if I'm right. Where the teachers and lawyers strike start. The teachers and lawyers strike start with a day for ground zero. I'll come back before even the multiply. But within ground zero, I've been struggling to change the narrative. I've been struggling to change the narrative for make sure, say, me they know they talk now about a language or a language in court or language in schools and all of those things. Then they reduce a whole people to a tribe in La République du Cameroon, called Anglophones or called this and that. So we struggle to change the narrative, make it come out from seeing us like Anglophones, like a tribe in Cameroon called the Anglophones, to a nation called Ambazonia. So we struggle, they come now, change the thing to start talking about federation. We say, look, when they still make the same mistake where people have been making before. Before now, we don't go for federation. We don't beg La République of Federation. From AAC1, they beg for federation. They get in a prison, get bullets, get tear gas. get people them into their early graves. When I don't take we and then we make for Bamenda Declaration after the AAC 1, for AAC 2, they make the Bamenda Proclamation where they say we stop at nothing but complete independence. That is zero option. Now, when I don't come today for 2016, how many years back, when I want to take we back again to the federation, we don't take Cameroon, say we don't get enough of them. So now the same mistake. We be tell and say federation or freedom, probably the same now, like the same evil. So the same bullet we go get you with the shout for federation. Now the same bullet we go get you if you fight for Ambazonia. So why go low to fight for federation where all of them get the same price? Now the thing that will be struggle for Tasang, Bala, and all the like. Now my first time we ever talk with Tasang now on all of those topics. What the struggle for explain to ye, even for Bala and all of the like. Say, you know if you go that low for take the same bullet for the same for the same thing where you get a higher price where you feel run for, then you go that low for take for the talk about federation. So the teacher and lawyer strike it be magnified thanks to a gentleman where he be who got picky coffin, talk say he don't get enough. He go mad like some of us with a lot of pains where he go for Liberty Square for Bamenda with a coffin. He talk say better me the kill you, bury you inside a coffin than say me they alive. They see this nonsense where he see him. So it will be magnified and people they be come out and then which way it be baffled we now say pikin then come out, mommy then come out, papa then come out, youth then come out with leaves, with lettuce, with palm branches, with nkung, or they call them peace plants. They march along the street, say this is what we want. But marching with leaves and peace plants, La Republic terrorists them, these B gendarmes or whoever you call them, the colonial administrators, they translate that leaves and lettuce. Where even they whip you with lettuce, you no go do no nothing. They whip you with peace plants, you no go do no nothing. They see like say that guy they hold an AK. They start shoot everybody down. So if they shoot you down where you hold leaf, they shoot you down where you hold grass for your hand. Then, if you get the means for hold AK, for shoot the person you don't want to shoot you down, why you not go for an AK? We must aim high. Then when they should shoot all of these people then so we hold some meeting. Because at that time we already we structure them all over the 13 states for Ambazonia. The ADF was already on the ground. All over. We already get guys where they come, where they feed them, where they struggle for make sure they get whatsoever way they figure them. So when this thing comes to the CIC at that time now, Dr. Cho Ayaba, he called a meeting. He talks, he finds, although we'll never yet be prepared, we'll still get 2 years to go. Because he talks, we will come out for 2018. He said, it better may we come out now for protect people. Because if we no do them, this thing will do, it go wipe all people then. Some of we talk say no, nobody time this, say we wait, maybe we wait, so all we wait. The worst thing become now when La Republic now use a helicopter gunship, where start to shoot people, so they shoot some Pekin, a jaw, shoot, will be called another emergency meeting. And at that time we'll decide say ADF it get for come out. And ADF it become out. And ADF it become out and it defend with territorial integrity. It defend Ambazonia. Now what I see when any action will happen anywhere, ADF. And then these people, the way they don't come from another group, whether they call themselves a government or they call themselves a waiting, they say turn inside the vex, or they say like some kind of jealousy, or they say like a challenge. You see, now I say black man, he get a problem. We get a very big problem. We hate our own and we know the appreciate. We know the appreciate. Now one thing that way it happened with we. So you see, all this hate game here, it costs me a lot of havoc. We ADF go out for the hey, you watching that ADF. What in a which one do una show so una dey na up.
Community schools in Bui subdivisions, Bui State, under the Supreme General of ADF, General Hassan. You can see the joy of the civilians. You can see the little children. You can see their madam trying to control them. So this is the beginning of something. 1st October 2020, celebrated at Banten under the Supreme General of ADF, General Hassan of Yelu. We give thanks to Egg of Sea family. We give thanks to the Egg of Sea family and the supporters of Egg of Sea family. With the defense force, you can see the Ambazonia defense forces, ADF standing to control the territory so that the La Republic terrorists will not have access to destroy them. These are the community school. We call on all our brothers and sisters which are right in the colonial masters area to come back. This is the beginning of something. Anglophone education is different from Francophone education. We call on all our brothers to come back home and join the community school so that it can be successfully. So we thank everyone to join the 1st October today.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, sorry. This is good. We get a technical team where, oh, this is good. Thanks a lot, team. You know, when something happens, boom, they don't see them. Just block those guys where they struggle for make sure say, maybe we know they online, where they struggle for make sure say, maybe we not tell the truth, where they struggle for make sure, say, me ground zero, you know, here, which we the need for hear them. So they will take we now go for some the most important part where this thing is spoiled now from the time where they say they would go for some third conclave. Where we go there and where they start for say the one from this their government and I will look them and I will tell them straight for their eyes. I will tell them say look, which way they do for here, they struggle for scam the Ambazonian people. And if you hear the vex with me say because power them with PhD and whatsoever say scammers. And truly speaking to you today, I get no regret because they really scammed the Amazonian people. This thing or this notion called government is what has been struggling to kill this revolution till today. All right, so I will tell them, say, look, before you want to form a government in a mad revolution like this, you must get countries then where they don't ready for accept that government, where they go give their blessing for that government and where they go protect that government. You don't come for sleep, they will say government in exile. And I make a they understand, say, before they want form this their government, they want form them now. Within the Ambazonian struggle from the 90s till about 2006, we don't get about 4 different governments with the wrong form, where none of them no ever work. The SCNC is start going gaga, it start to scatter because of this period they come up from their government from this side, it scatter the SCNC more than it get for build them. So when this government is scatter, we will woke up, and then the government, you for one government, the government goes scatter, divide into 2, then the one way divide into 2, scatter again, divide into 4, So we just get so many governments before now. And I tell them, say, we are not learn from those where they brought day for this struggle. When I get to come out, when I try to listen, because most of them were saying without room, now new faces them. They never ever know nothing about this struggle. Now just this teacher and lawyer strike, it bring them together, and then they just feel say they say this thing about PhD or about their chemistry where they know or about whatsoever philosophy where they know. Not be that. Even truck pusher where they for back market, where you don't work up behind the struggle, you gonna know the struggle better than some person where go she don't for women country read a philosophy, get a PhD. Forget PhD, mean say you understand the underbelly the nintong for this struggle. No be PhD. Me I don't even get one. If you even talk to my defender TC, I'm not sure if I ever know how they do those things. But I believe say my track record for this struggle, I know which way this struggle it be all about. If you come me even for dream, for sleep, ask me question about this struggle, I go be able to give you an answer. But there are people with PhDs who cannot, because nobody feel they never even get time to read all of these things. So I will tell them, I say, look, you must get countries then where they be ready for recognize this government. And they be give me, and they ask me, say, the time will be the form this government, how many of we will be there within the SCNC? Say SCNC was just 3, 4, 5 group people fighting, but now the whole Ambazonia don't stand up. They wait and say they the glamour for this government. So when they form this government, they just need to go march for United Nations, march for Europe, march for UK, march for Asia, march for this place, and United Nations will come and laugh at them. And I tell them, say, look, we don't do all of these things. We don't march all over. I don't address this place, address that one. Dr. Mfongalamfo don't address this place, address that one. Chief Ayamba don't come for here. We don't go for EU. We don't go for European Union, European Parliament. We don't talk. Give we know nothing. Please stop there. Because this thing no go work. It no go work. They say, no. Because say we not be there plenty. Now we don't plenty. We'll do this. And they tell me, behold, since 7 countries did already wait me they make this election for elect the so-called president. So when they elect the president, the 7 countries, they go just recognize them. And say Nigeria, now one of those countries. Now the same Nigeria, we bundle them, send them for Yaoundé. So they be the fool now who? They scam with the Amazonian people. Look, the notion of a government now a very good thing, but not in the revolution. Not in the bloody revolution. When I read revolutions then, you never get a revolution where a day in the midst of a bloody war, they go sit down with some place, begin form government. When you form government, you start get Department of Commerce, Department of this, Department of that, and also all them to do with budget. That budget they come off outside from una pocket. Which is Department of Commerce they do inside bloody revolution. Department of where, Department of this, Department of this. Now so they share una money. Instead for gather that money, buy guns. There is now one thing the way it go where they work for diplomacy and it work for freedom. Guns. Guns. And I will tell them, if you miss this one, you don't miss everything. If you miss this one, you don't miss everything. They start calling me say warlord. Or to what they talk for them now only gun. They don't want to hear anything about gun or defense. But not say at this time, my boy they already they fight. You know, ADF they already fight during the third conclave would come. Now only ADF they fight at this time for ground zero. ADF and a few Sokadef. Because Sokadef, now we be Sokadef. Nami I even revamped Sokadef back. I revamped Sokadef back because that will be joined together, will be the promote the name Sokadef until when Dr. Cho Ayaba he win Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga for the election for be the CIC for AGOC. Dr. Akwanga he dropped from the AGOC. Talk say he form me back a Sokadef. We'll be already talk say once we don't join inside AGOC. Any member from any other group, if they leave that group, will concentrate on AGOC and will go ahead. And that's what we accept. So if now Ebenezer will win this leadership for the AGOC, you know, if ever hear Sokadev again. But since we lost election, you know, he just withdraw. Then going out, go form Sokadev back again, you know, start doing what they do. Then take back the name where we already build them, because we build and Sokadev descend up. So we get to come out now with the Ambazonia Defense Forces. So at this time, we already fight inside bush. So I tell them, say, look, also, we of the Ambazonian Governing Council, we don't shut down, we form the Ambazonian Governing Council, we start to create all of this thing from 2012 right up to 2014. When I think say we'll not be think about forming a government, we'll be thinking about forming a government. And if we form a government, how many government they there now? We'll not form a government not because we will not know about government. Now because we don't learn from the past errors. Where government split SCNC, split all other groups and way they fight for inside Ambazonia because black men are a very greedy man. Once you form a government, automatically you form an opposition. You know, it's split we and we talk say we will not go ever do this again. Now whether we will not be form a government. Now we form Ambazonia Governing Council. Council because it be made of groups.
Community schools in Bui subdivisions, Bui State, under the Supreme General of ADF, General Hassan. You can see the joy of the civilians. You can see the little children. You can see their madam trying to control them. So this is the beginning of something. 1st October 2020, celebrated at Banten under the Supreme General of ADF, General Hassan of Yelu. We give thanks to Egg of Sea family. We give thanks to the Egg of Sea family and the supporters of Egg of Sea family with the defense force. You can see the Ambazonia Defense Forces, ADF, standing to control the territory so that the Republic terrorists will not have access to destroy them. These are the community school. We call on all our brothers and sisters which are right in the colonial masters area to come back. This is the beginning of something. Anglophone education is different from Francophone education. We call on all our brothers to come back home and join the community school so that it can be successfully. So we thank everyone to join the 1st October today.
Three, two, go!
We're having some technical difficulties due to these people in way they struggle for make sure they make one from we, but the technical team it be at its best and we make sure say we the upgrade as we the proceed. All right, you once more when I listen when I watch the ACN TV, the it go make una smile, we it go help una for understand the truth of the matter, where it go help una for understand and for remove the intoxication or those bacteria then we put the brown put for una brain concerning the egg of sea ADF TV. It go show una the light TV way it go lead una to victory, the TV for this new generation, the TV for people them way they know the blink, the TV for the guys them where they produce the AKs them way the boys them need for defend your homeland with them, the TV where na ye way it go make you know say there are TVs and there are TVs. The TV way it be very different from other televisions. The TV way na your own will be produced by you, and where you yourself you be part of the team. So thank una very much for una patience and for everything. Like I be talk, so I not be get nothing way day inside that invitation where we talk about invitation, we talk about election. So time they talk about that, I be kick against it, and I be say, this thing, and will not sure say this kind of thing if it happen, because this thing is coming now. They scam the Ambazonian people. They tell we say, ma look internet, I go see them say Mark Barata, Tapang Ivor, and all the other activism they write on Facebook say we'll not get for leave this place where we know come out with an election. We will not elect a president or a prime minister, whatever we choose. I tell them, say, look, we represent the Amazonian people in here. Now we place for educate them, for tell them which way it be good, not be for them for the tell we which way they want. Because if we start to take things now from social media, then we'd already fail. And truly speaking, even after when they form this their government, when I don't notice in a government way, you know get a policy the social media. Now that I see Eric Tato, it be fit change minute where it happen even within Sakman or within Siseko government. Because they be listening from the media before they take any action. They don't get a policy where they don't tell we out there, say this is it, this is where we want to take you to. Now we drive this, now the vehicle this way we want to take una to freedom. They never give una a road map, a platform where the show say make una work for. But you get the egg of see we don't come out with a tried approach and he explain them for una. Targeted internalization, resistance, and defense. When you with full even the people that form the government, they just follow now the same thing because they don't get a different approach. They don't get their own approach. So I tell them, say this thing enough happen because I live in a council. For inside a gov see when I need for see council. When they don't send you for represent a gov some place, you come must give a report. And when you give a report, in fact, it return for parliament. Questions the way you answer them. If you make any mistake there, you go explain. So I be the represent A of C with barrister and not be fit stand for say election. Where one come out, the council send me, you don't know anything about election. Now I stand up and I be asked the SCNC, Dr. Mfongalam for day for day. Me I be an SCNC member or the chairman of the SCNC in Belgium. I asked her, I say, look, doctor, you want come for you so you know anything about election? Doctor said no. I asked Pandanga, you know anything about election? No. Fortunately, Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, he just walked into the hall. And I tell you, say, this was stand for up. Now, because say, I don't see some people here where the show say, we'll get for go. I ask and say, one comes, so if you know anything about election, you know, Dr. Akwanga just boss now into, you know, it just start fire, you know, because he don't know which way election, president, all of those things, he will bring them. So he knows he's saying now say this period go back again from the same shit where we don't struggle for run away from. You know, so he be boss into anger, but I tell his assistant up and never finish. So I will tell them say enough it happened because I don't get no candidate. For put them for yes in a egg of C candidate this. And since we chairman Mfongalam for Devo of the SNC, I'm not sure say get any candidate because he never even talk with we never choose no person. And so Dr. Akwanga enter for here. Now the groups and this way they hold this organization before when I even one come in. They don't know about election. Then how do an election? So they ask me for sit down, noise. So they be just be bullies. They be just be bullies and novice. So at one point they woke up, call, say they will nominate Ayok Tabe. And I be asked who be Ayok Tabe. Now my first time I ever hear that name for all my years with this struggle. I never ever hear. And they be make me understand say Ayok Tabe na some very rich man for Nigeria, where he the sponsor singer Nigeria. That's the Southern Cameroon's Nigerian community for the Southern Cameroon's community for Nigeria. Say it is partly sponsored, and I partly sponsor the third conclave. So I asked myself, so when I want my stand for now became vote, person I never ever know I don't know how far he articulate the Ambazonian struggle. I don't know how far he they way if take bribe. I don't know. In fact, I never ever see. So I go to vote ye because he get money, because he work into Aso Rock where no take this get invitation or where they do it. Say na be wait. In fact, they just give some kind funny flimsy excuses. And if you vote no man for this man struggle for this life, would look, I don't see a lot for this struggle. So I will be at the right position for really talk say and not ever do that kind of thing. So when I vote my vote because get money, because they sponsor Singer Nigeria, and because he partly sponsor the third conclave, what would they? No. I tell them say cannot sit on for my head. I be deny and I be kick against them and they be send me out of the conclave. And I be tell them say, look, I come up for years so I'd go me for bush. And I'd go form trained soldiers them who will come out, will start to do what you will need for do. And I believe them and I be go daddy. Directly I be go open daddy. And at that time, we would do for third conclave. Dr. Choi I be get for meter we. Maybe be block somewhere where I don't go see some materials them somewhere. We now he became go make the final conclusion on the things them. So he and somebody they be blocked somewhere in the bush where they wait for the big person may come in the camp. Play where if they be pick them high time, none of whom not ever know say some person they even exist again like Dr. Cho Ayaba. Now risk. Now risk. They did it for 2 good days. Fly for that place now. So one day. Mosquito pass you just in a trailer they pass. They did it for 2 good nights. Risk. Revolutionary leaders take risk. Political leaders don't. Political leaders don't. So I come go me daddy, I open daddy, come with I train all of those guys them. If you see any top commander of ground zero, if you call as a commander, we no pass through my hand. We no pass through ADF. When this guy they notice they will do they for that deal, they don't form their government. Well, truly like I be talk. So when you form a government, you start see the other people them like an opposition, and you go spend most of your time they fighting other people them instead for they fight the enemy. They start fight we. Hey, daddy is in Nigeria. These guys are nowhere. Joe Ayaba is a scammer. Joe Ayaba is this. Mango she done here for America. Pick your phone. Then talk the city ground zero. I don't just see Joe Ayaba in and some this. I don't just see this. Hey, they lie. They did Nigeria here. And then when I do they accept because they will not get a platform, will not get a media like this one for talk on side of the story. But thank God will not be even stop talking because if we leave, we will focus. Although it be distract me somehow, but at least we'll be focused. We'll be focused. And we'll be use the money, we'll be use and we'll create television with them, buy materials. What did they do now for just set other groups them, may they come take attack the ADF, seize materials, attack ADF there, seize materials. And when they attack the ADF, seize materials, because they get that time been at the SCBC before they even found ABC, they start the show all over ADF don't attack we first. Now ADF don't do this. And then we don't know on small Facebook. We don't know on small Facebook. The show say, no, we never attack these people, we never even attack them. We even try even for small WhatsApp. We didn't. Who be they listen? Because the guys, look, the notion of government, it just make them, Ambazonians, they don't be ruled by a government for so long. So much way they want to form their own as fast as possible. A very big mistake. A very big mistake. No ever struggle. No ever struggle. Say one for reach the top without without starting to claim from bottom. Because you go fall. And your fall, you go be very, very big. Your fall, you know, go easy. So now the thing that Ambazonians is trying to do, they just want to leave from here now, so just jump, claim on top ceiling or on top banda. We do not start from the first ladder for claim. It'd be very difficult to do that. It'd be very difficult to do that. So they just put we at loggerheads, you know, jam we talk all kinds of story about the ADF until sometime we'll buy materials there. Risk where would take and go inside bush, go buy materials, waka, dodge bullet, do everything. Can't get for this guy them. Someone go on Facebook say because and talk say they say helicopter. La Republic helicopter fly for air, come inside Batibo, gun them for we. And some of them be glad when I say, yeah, ADF now, Cameroon, ADF now, Tanganji. La Republic du Cameroon go come gun them, make we use some keys and then key B. In fact, who first start talk about defense? We start planning this thing since when? Where all these people they make all these audios, then when they listen them, they never even they think about this struggle. We don't restart. So when I think say now we, La Republic will use them for the car and we this thing. Who they be Dowdy? Who they attack with for daddy? Not because La Republic. How La Republic do attack with for daddy? Because we show the video for daddy for one person will be there for government. For this one, I think when I call and say government. Because we be fee say the fit sponsor, you know, these guys and they fit give money from which way they don't contribute them, make we buy guns. So in confidential, they send this video with them, say this is what we are doing. Please, can you be of support? The person is a good man, but he send and for another person, we feel say the person, you know, go understand. But the person now then send for outside. He just leak the video for outside. Now whatever they see, we for daddy, come attack daddy, we will never yet even be ready for finish what you will do for day. So nasty them. Because we will do two way, no be IG do am. Once we do two way, no be IG do am. Choya, you must join the IG. If you don't join the IG, what is the problem? If we had joined this IG, this struggle would have ended. Because these guys, they never thought about guns. The problem was not about guns. Look, if the international organization, it talk about this struggle today, if the world, if you look about this struggle today, not because there's some yam heads that she done somewhere form a government. Now because the ADF be decide to go inside bush, come out with AKs for defend with land. Why this struggle exists today now because of this AKs? Ladies and gentlemen, we now watch the Barefoot Soldier. And the topic for today now the foundation. A lot the way we fit talk but because of time constraint, we go leave them for year, and we now know say next Saturday the Barefoot Soldier is going to come again. The Barefoot Soldier is going to be anchored by myself and Ambassador Fobe, where we now go see next week. Now some person where you two are a very big soldier. Now some person where I learn from ye. If we now see some picture where me I put the Republic terrorist flag for down, I stand on top at the talk. Just know say I take now from a footstep. So now me and you will go anchor this program and we'll come up with different topics, and we invite also people them way them go come, them go to talk. And once more, we now watch the ACN TV, now a platform for we, and I encourage all Ambazonians for GZ for be Barefoot Soldiers. You get a platform, you get a page for Facebook. You just type Barefoot Soldiers. You go see the page. You add yourself into it. If you do work anywhere for Ambazonia, you see La Republique du Cameroon, they commit atrocities. You see them where they do the nonsense. Then where they do them, just pick up your smartphone. Get a video of it and you send to that page, the Barefoot Soldier, or you send to me directly, or you send to Ambassador Fuabe, and we go process them and we go show them for the people them which way they happen. So you be the journalist of the ACN TV, because the ACN TV, Naya TV, it not belong to the AGOVC, it not belong to the ADF, to the Ambazonian people. Now, what we see the name, it be well crafted. Ambazonian Communication Network. So it is in a TV for me and you. So please, tomorrow I will come up for 4 o'clock for talk to the Ambazonian people for Lamso, the King's language, and I will try to give them an update of the news in Lamso. If you did anywhere in the world where you feel say you feel give an update on what will happen for Ambazonia for your various kingly language, be proud for contact me or contact the AC and communication team so that they go fit put you on a slot. If you get a program too where you feel say you want to run them for ACN TV, you feel to contact me or you contact the ACN team and they go put you two on a slot. So for join this thing, we now get for most no say the only thing where it put the international organizations on spot on our case now guns. The only thing where you make diplomacy it move very fast like the way they move now so now guns. So the only way where you feel support the guys and forget these guns for ground zero. Not only for support we on www.ttof.net. I repeat www.ttof.net and where you go make sure say you hear the music it go play in at one way it go make this guy them pick their boots put them for their shoulder and they talk say wanna know something this guy they run mean business now time this now for run and you see they go run come out for with territory because the difference between we and them now say we they fight for with life them they fight for money. So if you enjoy this program for today, why not join we next week, same time, same day. Greetings from this end. Your humble servant, Sheikh Abi Wamalim, signing out for ACN TV.
Stay tuned on ACN TV. We will be right back.
Oh, oh, oh.